What do you think that would improve the safety in your neighborhood? What do you think that would improve safety in your neighborhood? Welcome to the 601 Network. Real Jackson News. No fluff, no distractions, just real news for real people. Um, yeah, that's something that you really need to you have to ask. I really would like to ask you that question because you know there's a lot of different things that's happening here in the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Just in our neighborhoods, whether you're living in Washington, Dishon, Hernan Dishon, neighborhood of over here in the West Jackson area where I stay, where South Jackson, North Jackson, uh, you know, Eastover. It doesn't make a difference. Where the Fondren area, the Old Haven area, over there by Meadowbrook. It doesn't make a difference what neighborhood you're at. What improvements that can be made, as far as helping out you, the resident, that that our city officials can implement that would help better, make it safer. Because like a lot of folks is like kind of leery about walking the streets, you know. You got like, I know there's a lot of cameras and stuff that's going to be going up pretty soon in certain neighborhoods, and they're trying to implement the command center being able to monitor these cameras, whether you have a ring door camera or whatever kind of camera, or just a regular camera posted on the pole, or cameras posted at the stores, at your local, either at your grocery store or at your local convenience stores, or whatever stores that would have those blue light that blue light type project camera that they're talking about implementing. But I mean that's a good look in terms of safety in that, as far as in that direction, but what are some of them other things that can be done to help better make things safer for you as the residents? You know, I remember when I was a kid years ago coming down here in the summertime. You know, walking up the street was nothing. It was nothing. Walk up street to the small store. I call them all 7-Elevens, but little local store, whatever. And I'm just going to go get like a soda pop, or maybe a honey bun or something like that, or whatever. Might I'm doing that. Might just going up there just to get me a popsicle or something. I don't know. I was a kid, but I remember how safe it was feeling. You didn't have to worry about speeders, coming through the neighborhood, speeding through your neighborhood, running stop signs. You know, why is it necessary that you gotta put a speed bump in your neighborhood to prevent that? I mean, that really is like, especially if it's not a school zone. Why do you have to feel it necessary? Because it's too frequent. That's why it's too frequent. It is too frequent that in your neighborhood that you got all these people coming by speeding and running the stop signs. No police is around. I'm just merely spitting facts here. Spitting facts. If you had more, now think about it. If you had more deterrence in your neighborhood, do you think that that would help some? Why not? I mean, if you don't have anything, then what? But just the deterrence of the police presence, do you think that that would kind of help slow down some of this behavior? Who knows? It might. But they're not doing that. You know, and that's clear to me in my neighborhood. And it's kind of crazy because, you know, it's like they so quick to pull you over for a traffic infraction when you're on a main street, but yet in the neighborhoods, there's no one to be found. When the true traffic infractions is going on in the neighborhoods, you know, the true traffic infractions is going on in the neighborhoods. And that's something that really needs to be looked at. Somebody needs to do a poll on that. Because, I mean, you could just look at that and tell that that's problematic. You know, you'll go down Highway 80 or Bobby Rush or Medgar Evers or Woodrow Wilson. They'll pull you over for some type of traffic infraction. Ooh, I think I'm getting tired. I don't know. But in just the regular local, you know, you might be on Idaho Street or, you know, I'm just trying to name some streets. You know, you might be on now I'm going to say Mississippi Street. That's downtown. But you might be on Gubberster. You might be on, let's see, you might be on Woody, South Jackson. You know, you might be on one of them little streets back in, one of them streets in the cut. Ain't no police back there. Ain't no police, no police deterrence. I mean, I think that it would help something. It will help some. Folks is not susceptible to want to run a red light if you see a police car sitting right there looking at you. I mean, it's common sense to ask me. So, I mean, but that's just a question. I mean, drop a comment. Give me a comment. Let me know something about what you think as a resident, because that's a very good well, let me say this. That's an ongoing problem. It's an ongoing problem here. And that's a very good question, because the reason why I say it's a good question because it's an ongoing problem, and we need opinions on that. You know, not just what the local news put out. You know, go to these community meetings. Go to these community meetings and voice your opinion. Go to the city, go to the council, voice your opinion. Let me explain something to you about this. Let me say this. And this is for those of you that have this this thing about going to the city council. Because some of us feel like they're not going to do nothing anyway. But let me tell you this. You're not going to the city council for them to fix your problem right away. You're going to the city council to get it on the record. You're saying, hey, you were told. And you were told on this date, at this time. You were told. Nothing gets done. Something happens. Whose lap that's going to fall in? It's not going to fall in your lap. But it will fall in your lap if you sit down and do nothing. You know about it. This is something that can possibly be handled, regardless whether they handle it or they don't. It's just like, for example, it's just like you send a certified letter and you get a return receipt and you're trying to address somebody for something and they don't do anything. You don't care. You got it on record. That's what it's about. Getting it on record. So do me a favor. Drop me a comment on that. I mean, real talk. Drop me a comment on that because, and I want to hear from you. I really would like to hear from you, the residents, because, you know, this is like an ongoing thing. And it's not going to stop until people galvanize and get together and say, hey, look, listen, let's get this thing on record. You know, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change. So, smash up that like button. Smash up that like button. Do me a favor, run them lights all the way up and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think and leave a comment. I would really appreciate that. If you really got some value out of this video, share this video out. Thank you for watching. I'm your host, Foresight.